Alrighty. Okay, so market's opening up. We only got just a little bit of movement here. SNAL just popped up. SNAL. Wonder what the news is on that. News. Snail Gym launches annual Steam Publish for Sale event. I don't know what much we're going to get much movement out of that or not. Let me shut down. I was this morning. I updated some code, and the good thing is the news section is fixed. So right now, if you look at the news, they're different. Before, like NIVF would be there, and then NIVF would show up for the rest of the ones that had news. But as you can see, they're different now. I just there was a cache issue on the server, and what I had to do is just create a hash map in Rust, because the screener for the server is written in Rust, and the desktop client right here is written in Rust as well. And I did some trade alerts. Fixed some logic there, added something that I'm going to see if it works pretty good at 940, kind of like an opening range 940. When we have top gainers right here, the biggest gainers. So at 930, I'm gonna get rid of pre-market gainers and go with biggest gainers. Now, biggest gainers, the low flow gainers are going to show up there as well, if they have enough criteria to show up there. And the biggest gainers at 940, I'm looking for things with an opening range. So I want it to stay above the daily VWAP, and if the 10 minutes, the first 5 minutes closes above daily VWAP, that's good. If the next 5 minutes closes above the VWAP, that's good. And it should show up on the trade alerts here. What I'm looking for in that type of trade in the first 10 minutes is continuation. CVGW. Don't think anything's there. No. It only has 1,000 volume, so there's really nothing there. In the news, news is nothing. So let's check out the futures. We're on a 15-minute delay on the futures. I don't have the live data for that. As you can see, we're kind of selling off just a little bit. I mean, you would expect a pullback. Let's go to the SPY. As you can see here, yeah, we're going to open up. We're going to gap down a little bit. So that is to be expected. But pre-market gainers, this code is working fine. I fixed the news, so everything should be working really good now. So the news is definitely different. It's for each individual stock. And what I need to do, because right here, this is 6.5. This is news for 6.5. I mean, that's like over a week ago. Drinking a little bit of coffee. So that is like over a week ago. So what I'm going to be doing is checking to see if the news is only for the current day. So it's only going to show the current news for the current day, and that should get that done this afternoon. I will get that done, so tomorrow everything will be looking good for that. Like right now, NIVF is Nugent announces plan strategic UAE real estate. So the reason the other ones dropped off is because it's not meeting the criteria. I mean, sometimes these low floaters, these pre-market gainers, they just don't have enough volume. Like right now, the volume is 151,000 for NIVF. So there's volume for that one. NIVF, if you look at it, there's volume in there. So there's volume, so that's why it's showing up. Now, if it drops below that, then obviously it's going to drop off from the scanner. Like N LIMN. NIVF. Yeah, there really wasn't anything there. Right here, I was thinking about starting a position when it broke this, but I just didn't do it. And the reason I didn't is because we had a really large green candle, and that's why it popped up and went up like 14%. But the volume is lower than this candle, so I just kind of didn't. Now, if the red candles had really low volume, they were going down, then it might have worked. But I just didn't get into it just because it kind of wicked down here, and I just really didn't like it. What I mainly look for is a pullback, like a pullback, maybe 1-2 bar pullback, 3 at the most, and then I look for an inside bar, and then I look for a break of that inside bar, and then a run up and try to get some money. Like YHC showed up. YHC. See, there's volume coming in there. CVGW. There's not much volume. It's over 1,000, but there's nothing there. NIVF. Kind of like right here. This is an inside bar because the low of that is 215. The low of that one is 215. Then we had a break of it. Now, you could have gotten in there and gotten yourself 10 cents. But the thing is that this selling right here, it kind of was getting lower and lower, and then it really picked up right here. And then we had this green candle. It's just not good enough for me. Mainly, we're below the VWAP. Now, I do take trades below the VWAP sometimes, but I need to be able to see it run up, pull back, run up, make a higher low, and then go in and try to touch the VWAP. That's not a problem because stocks like to trade around the VWAP, but mainly I just like taking trades above it. I just like going for a continuation. I go with the momentum. And the relative volume is not high for these. Trade alerts right here on pre-market trade alerts, it will pop up if the relative volume is 5 times. It'll show up here. And what I'm doing on my other screen is I'm bringing in this right here. So I type in CVGW, NIVF, YHC. I just put them right here and check them. If they're moving, I just keep an eye on them. Now the scanner, it's coming along pretty good. I'm going to be streaming, possibly starting at 8 o'clock in the mornings. And once I get enough people viewing the channel for the live stream, I might open it up at 7:30, 7:30. If there's enough people that are going to be viewing it live, I can start it a little bit earlier. But I'm going to start it around 8 o'clock and go from 8 to 11. So that should just be like 3-hour stream. And after 11 o'clock, I normally just don't trade. But the scanners that are done is the pre-market gainers, that's working. Top traded gainers, that's working. Biggest gainers, low float gainers, that's working. Top press releases is working. That's right here. And it shows all the top press releases so you can read it, the titles, and see what's going on. And read the full PR. When you click on that, nothing happens. What I'm going to do is try to get it so where it opens up a big window for you to read the whole PR if you want that. I normally don't read the whole PR. I just look at the title, see if I like it. Most of the time I will jump into the stock and read the start of position and then read the release later, try to get some more information. But these move so fast, you don't have time to read the PR. You only have time to read the chart and the title. Just read the title, go to the chart. And the trade alerts, that's a work in progress. Right now what I have it look for is, I have it look for 3 green candles like this, 1, 2, 3, and then a pullback, like a 2-bar pullback, where it makes lower highs, it will show up here. And also I have it so where it does, it looks at the VWAP for like 15 periods back, 15 or 20 periods back. And if it's below it, it's not going to show up because the momentum's not upward. The main indicator that I use is a VWAP. And I will use anchored VWAPs. That's what I wrote for the trade alerts as an anchored VWAP. Like, if we take this anchored VWAP here, and let's say we had a run up and we had a pullback and we were looking at it here, then it would go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'd probably go back around to here. But as you can see, it's trading below it, so it wouldn't show up on the trade alerts. Now, if it was trading above the VWAP and it pulled up and it ran up and then it pulled back and the 2 bars are still above the VWAP, then it would trigger. So I'm writing the code for the trade alerts for momentum trading when it's above the daily VWAP, and I'm writing anchored VWAPs on a pullback. I'm writing a 20 period anchored VWAP for the pullback and try to get in on the break of the high of it. Let's see if I can. See, YHC is not moving. Like right here, we had a run up, we had a pullback. So you did anchored VWAP and go about 20 bars back. Let's see. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be like right around in here. So I just went and take that trade. Now, that trade alert is not going to be on the pre-market. So I don't have that on the pre-market. That's only on the biggest gainers. Let's see, CVGW. Yeah, it's not moving. Nothing's moving. So I think this whole week has been kind of slow for a pre-market. There's been a few good trades, but I don't think it's doing that much. So hopefully in about an hour when the market opens up, it'll be a lot better. Yeah, the relative volume for YHC is low. Yeah, they had a split 1 to 35. Wow. And when you see that no pre-market gainers above 10% available, uh, that's incorrect because we do have some above 10%. But this could be because market is closed or pre-market trading hasn't started. Small cap stocks aren't showing significant pre-market movements yet. I need to update that to not showing. So Small caps are not showing enough volume. I just don't like showing stuff in a scanner with like only trading like a couple hundred shares. There's no reason to even think about trading that. And I don't even trade something if it's like a couple of thousand. I mean, it has to be pretty significant. Now, you'll notice that a lot of these press releases get released at 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9. Like here, CNS got released at 7:32. So there's not much press releases going on. It's really slow. We'll have to wait for 8:30. 8:30, they should probably release something. But if we look at RR, there's nothing there. That's why it's not showing up on the scanner. AMRX. Yeah, there's no volume there. GTLL. Same thing. That just looks like algo trading to me. There's nothing there. There's nothing there either. MEOH. I mean, just because they give out a press release doesn't mean it has to move. I mean, these press releases, none of these were looking good. Robotics Innovation of the Year by the Supply Tech Breakthrough Awards. Approval for something, suspension, yeah. Regulatory approval for the sale of Global. President, CEO, Director of, yeah. So there's really a clear announcement, partnership for enabled candidate. There's really nothing here. Approval for the acquisition of OCI. Yeah, so there's really no press release. That's why nothing's moving here. Now, what happens on the server is that it will go through all the press releases that are being released. It scans them, and it scans through the title, and it looks for certain keywords, and then it will show up here on the top press release. Not all the press releases are being shown. It scans through a list of keywords that it's looking for in the title, and then it will list it here. Like breakthrough is one of them. Approval is one of them. Approval is right there. And strategic partnership, I'm not sure if that's one of them. Announce, I think, is one of them. Approval. So that will show up in the server, does it? RSLS. Okay, we might have something here. RSLS. We have a relative volume, RVOL, 266. That's pretty significant. Announces pricing of 2.6 million. Public offering. Okay. This is a 1 minute up here. Then we have the 30-second chart down here. Sometimes I look at a 30-second chart if it's moving real fast. Let's look at the daily. As you can see here, it kind of gapped up a little bit. So we have a gap here. So we don't know. It could run to 4. We have no idea. It could run to 4. Now, this dropped off the trade alerts because the relative volume, I think, probably dropped off. But when was this released? At 9 o'clock at 6:09. So there's no news. That was a few days ago. Yeah, I really got to only show today's news, not previous news, because that could throw people off. I mean, it threw me off until I actually looked at the date, and I was like, what? So I got to update the code for that. Slow week in the pre-market. There have been some good trades had, but not as much as last week. Last week was really good. You have hot weeks, you have cold weeks. That's just the way it is. Now what I'm looking for is for the volume to stay in there. See, RSLS showed up again. We have a float of 0.7 million. I mean, that's float of like 700,000. That is kind of low. RSLS, NTHI, nothing, RSLS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put RSLS right here. So I'm going to put RSLS right here on the other screen because I mainly keep a track of like 4 of them at any one given time. That's what I like to do. Now, NTHI is not doing anything. NTHI. Yeah, that's just dead. Dead in the water. And that news was about a week ago, so there's nothing there. So I'll update that this afternoon. Only show news for the current day. Once the app is released, I'm going to be building out a section where you can just bring up a window on your desktop and type in a ticker symbol and get all the information for it, like the ticker, the name, the exchange it's trading on, like the float value, CEO information, things like that. SAGT popped up. SAGT. Well, SAGT. We will replace that one. So now I've got 2 of them in here that I'm looking at. Now, SAGT. The news is from the 6th. Now, here's the thing that a lot of times that I look at. I will look at this scanner scans for the volume coming in. Now, sometimes what happens is the volume will come in, it'll start moving, we'll have a nice setup, and you should get in, and then no news will show up, and then a couple minutes later, the news will pop up. There's 2 reasons for that. RSLS is Looks like it wants to retake the VWAP. There's volume in there. The spread is a few cents. I mean, we had a pullback here and we had an inside bar. You could have gotten in there at 76 and got out at like 86 and got yourself 10 cents. And RSLS is trading like at about 5 cent spread, 5-6 cent spread. So it's just not worth it. Plus, it's just below the VWAP. But as you can see here, the volume was drying up. And if we look at a 30-second chart, as you can see here, you could have gotten in on like what's called a 2-bar break because the volume is picking up here. Could have gotten in on a 2-bar break right there at 76. Got yourself 86. Maybe make yourself like 5 cents on the trade. But yeah, I just didn't do it. It's not. It's below the VWAP. I mean, when you're talking about like that, you got like about 50,000 shares being traded. So let's say you can get 5 cents because of the spread, you go for 10 cents, 2-3 cent spread. Let's say you end up with 5 cents on 1,000 shares. That's like $50. SYTA. What's SYTA look like? SYTA. Got SYTA. RVOL of 11. We got recent news. Core Gaming merger news, critical stage with an I. So SYTA. You got a spread of 10 cents, so it's a pretty big spread. You can wait until it actually moves a little bit. If it starts kicking in and traders start working it, you can wait for a run up and a pullback, and hopefully the spread will tighten up. And if you're trading pre-market, you're going to have to go with like ARCA exchange. You can't put market orders in on pre-market. It's not allowed. Some brokers might not even allow you to trade pre-market. You have to be with the right ones. And you gotta be careful with these spreads because the market makers will definitely screw you over when you're doing market orders. That's how they make their money. We got RSLS is looks like it could be moving. CVGW. No, nothing there. RSLS. As you can see here, it's consolidating. Volume's not there though. We need a pop up and a pullback for it to really be good. Here on my other screen, as you can see here, I have these 4 here. RSLS, SAGT, SYTA. I'm just keeping an eye on them. RSLS, NTHI, that's probably nothing. And yeah, NTHI is not moving, nothing there. As you can see, the other one's dropped off just because it doesn't meet the criteria to show up on my list. RSLS is still there. That's because it has volume. NTHI just showed up just because it has. I mean, RSLS in 1 minute had 150,000 volume. With NTHI, we have got 1,300. That's nothing there. But the RVol for RSLS is lower. And it's obvious because, as you can see here, the volume just kind of dropped down. It popped up on the trade alerts because the RVol was really high right here, and it was higher than the previous. Because look at that, all past few days, no volume. All of a sudden, volume popped in. That's why it also popped up on the scanner, because the volume was coming in. It gapped up, and the volume's coming in. Trade alert popped up there because it was more than 5 times the relative volume. SYTA is moving. And now it's not moving. SYTA, that's not updating on TradingView. SYTA. There we go. It's a very slow week. Last week was really good. Slow week. Maybe when the market opens, we'll have some pretty good gainers on some other stocks. All right, RSLS is moving. Could have gotten yourself about 10, 15 cents on that. RSLS. 1 cent, 2 cent spread on RSLS. If you got it on the pop there, about 80 cents, 90. Yeah, you could have made 20 cents. With 1,000 shares, like a couple $100. If you can get filled on it. And you also could get a partial fill. So it is what it is sometimes. So if you got into RSLS right here, and it runs up to this area here and you got yourself 20 cents, what you really should do is take off half and move to a break even. Break even is down here, which means you would already be stopped out. Or if you saw it retrace all the way back here, you can get out here and get the rest of your profits and sell the rest of it. But that is, I mean, you got huge volume coming in there. The volume's drying up. If you were looking at the 30 second, you could have waited until it regained the VWAP. On the 30 second, regained the VWAP, moved up, got yourself 20 cents, maybe 25 cents. Pulled back here, it starts trading below there. You get out on the rest of it. We got a big seller at 295, so I don't think it's going to break the $3 mark. It's tried to break the $3 mark quite a few times and it pulled back. If it can break it and hold it, then we might be good. Seems like it's holding the $3 if we can break through that high. Seems like it's holding the $3. And there you go. Yeah, the news on that was pretty good. Signs exclusive distribution agreement with Recon Supply to access the VA and DoD markets. Making new highs. If you took that trade, definitely put in a mental stop. I don't know if we can break the 3.5. If we can break the 3.5, that'll be good. We did break it, but we didn't hold it. We went up to 356. High of 356. If we can hold the 3.5, we'll be good. If not, it's going to pull back, possibly the $3 mark for support. And if it looks good, you can make another trade. So I got to get used to streaming and trading at the same time. Because stupid little mistakes like that cost you. Yeah. Yeah, definitely lock in the profits. Don't let a winner turn into a loser. As you can see here on the 30-second chart, we got a bunch of dojis, so that would definitely be telling me to uh, sell half, lock in the other half, or just get all full out. You can always get back in. Yeah, RSLS looks like it's want to bounce. It came back down to the VWAP. Looks like it could bounce. We don't know. We got volume coming in a little bit. Yeah, the RSLS is making it made a lower high. It's below the VWAP. Maybe it'll regain it. I mean, we got a buyer 290. Got a seller at 303 though. We got about 20 some minutes until the market opens. We still have that buyer at 290 and still have that seller at $3. If we can go above $3, we might be able to test a high. At least test a 350. But the volume's drying up. If we can get above 3, that'll be good. Looks like it's coming in. Volume on the 30-second chart is growing, which is a good sign. Do we have enough momentum to get to 3.5? Volume's increasing. We're at 312, holding the 3. If you bought the break of that $3, that's good. You're up about 14, about 10, 15 cents. You could lock it in. Make sure you don't let a winner turn into a loser. So are we going to break that? If we can break that, was it 3? If we can break 315, we could test a high. 317, 319. And we got heavy volume coming in selling. Can we hold the $3? 15 minutes the market opens. Yeah, what's up? Alrighty. So back to consolidating. We're holding the $3 mark. 307. 306. It's holding the VWAP. But we just don't have the volume. But we just don't have the volume. Market's going to open here in a few minutes, hopefully about 15 minutes. Well, it looks like 30 seconds trying to get the volume pumped into it. We had a break of that. We're at 310. Hopefully we can get up. Are we going to be able to get, we got 310. Can we break the 319 is the problem. Market's going to open in like 10 minutes. At 310 we got a buyer holding the $3 mark. Volume's kind of light though. All right, we got a few minutes till the market opens. Few minutes until the market is open, ready for business. We got RSLS is just sitting there consolidating. Volume's dried up. We got nothing. Two minutes. 2 minutes. $295. $295. We got about 8,000. $294. We got about 4,000. So, got 9,000 at 295. Got about 1 minute. Well, actually, we got 30 seconds. The market will open up. So let me get go ahead and get the biggest gainers up and running, because that's going to replace the pre-market. We got top press releases. We'll just get rid of that. Market is 5 seconds. Usually got to wait a few minutes. Got biggest gainers, but it says no stock data. And the low float gainers, there's no stock data. It's like a top traded. Let me look, make sure the server's still running. Top trade window. Found 0 trades, fetching fresh top traded data. Found 0 trade alerts, so the slow float gainers. So the pre-market gainers were working. Somehow, no stocks data available. I don't know if it's because there's just nothing going on. We have top traded gainers too over here. The server is looking. There we go. Biggest gainers. Let me top traded gainers. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. Low float gainers. I'll go ahead and get rid of that as well. Let's look at SOAR. Let's look at CVAC, RSLS. Let's look at TIXT. Nothing there. AAIO. Took a small trade on RSLS. It was a real small trade on RSLS. It was like 5 cents. Correct. AIO. All right, we got some more stuff coming in here. Got RGTX. I think that showed up yesterday too. So what we have here, we've got PL, but that's 225 float. That's how much we have. RSLS. I might be able to do a continuation trade on that. But SOAR, CVAC. I'm not going to do CVAC. GIXT. There's nothing there. AAOI. So right now we got RSLS that's looking good. SOAR. We're not doing anything with that. CVAC. Uh, there's volume in there, but not much. We got RSLS that is looking good. About 200. 279 will be the stop. If RSLS can come back down to the VWAP, that might be a good one. Yeah, nothing's really showing up. RSLS is holding up, it seems like. We might be able to test the VWAP. Got RSLS is coming back down to the VWAP. We got AAIO. We got RSLS. I'm in that AAOIO. You can get in and then put a stop at the low. Hopefully go for a continuation trade. AAIO. Put my stop on RSLS to break even. AAIO, AAOI, I guess. So we have AAOI, AAOI. I don't know why I can't say that. This one right here is looking good. What kind of news we got? Invalidate. Okay. It's an 18. We got AAOI. AAOI. Got this right here, but it's just telling me what's going on with applied blah, 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 blah. Okay. What's going on with it? I don't know. You tell me. You the news people. You need to tell me. RSLS was a good little trade. AAOI, yeah, blah, blah. I mean, also it popped up because we had a run up and then we had like a 3-bar break and we were looking for an inside day. So you could have gotten in there. Your stop was down there. And you get a 33, and now you should have been good on that. Here, let me show you the other chart. Like right here, we had a run up, we had a pullback. It showed up on there around 942. We get in here, stop at 36. We ran up, and it looks like you got like 10, 14 cents. So, but I would be getting out of that anyways, just because it just does not look all that kosher, to be honest, right now. We got a lot of wicks up in there, and I just don't like all the wicks. I mean, if you look at the 32nd, we had an inside day there. You could have scalped yourself. If you got in here, got out at the last a quarter, and then you make yourself a quarter. But the spread, the reason I didn't do AAOI, the reason I didn't do AAOI is the spread was just, it wasn't there. And the risk reward was like right here. The stop was down here a quarter, but the top up there was around 40 cents. I mean, you could have got yourself some money, but I mean, it looks like it's bouncing. The spread is still like 15 cents, so I'm just not going to touch it. I just don't like it. RSLS was a good one. Right here was a good one. What I did was I made the play of coming back to the VWAP, and then as I was holding the VWAP here, as I was holding the VWAP, came down, held the VWAP, didn't make a low. So what I did was the stop was down there. It was about a 15-cent stop, and then it came up here, and then we just had some wickies, and then I got out at 10 cents. So, and you could be making this play as well right here. Get in here, got yourself a quarter. So, yeah, RSLS seems like the best trade for today. The spread's pretty tight. It's like 1 cent spread, 2 cent spread. Not bad. I mean, SOAR is just not moving. AAO, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that on the other chart. We got CVAC. That's not moving either. We got TIXT. Yeah, that's not really moving. XTIA, that showed up like a day or two ago. XTIA might be a good one. XTIA. Yeah, see, on the daily we had, yesterday was good. We got like a 5 cent spread on that. And we had a run up. We had a pullback here. We got an inside bar. Run up, pull back, inside bar, break of that. Get yourself 10 cents, 20 cents now, and you're good. Is it going to break the highs? Take some profits, lock it in. Take profits, lock it in. Take profits, lock it in. We got volume coming in on the 1 minute, 30 second. We got selling volume coming in on 30 second on XTIA. If you got in here on the hammer, and actually on the break right here, which was this, we ran up, got yourself 20 cents, but right now we got heavy volume on that last 30 seconds. So you could sell half and move to a break even. You'll be good to go on that. XTIA. Let's see what I wrote the code for that. This was the pullback on this, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't show up on the trade alerts. Yeah, so on the 30 second, we had some heavy volume coming in, and we kind of, yeah. So if you did get in on this break, I would definitely get out if it was me. XTRA's got like a 2 cent spread. RSLS is holding the VWAP. RGTX is a no-go. PL is a no-go. PL is not even on there no more. ORCX. No volume in ORCX. It's only 26,000 volume in the last 5 minutes. Nothing there. We got ORCL. ORCL is looking good. ORCL, if you would have gotten in on that, that was a good one. ORCL. ORCL kind of moved up. We had a pullback here. As you can see here, it ran up. We had a pullback. We had an inside bar. With a pullback inside bar, you could have gotten in on the break of that bar or the break of this. Ran it up for about 50 cents, but it's a $195 stock. I mean, you're talking about Oracle. So, yeah, if you got that kind of account, go for it, man. XTIA is definitely moving. XTIA. As you can see here, we had a pullback inside bar. We had a break of the inside bar. We got volume coming in on the 32nd on that. We had a run up. We had a pullback. I had inside bar there. You can put your stop down there to about a quarter. You ran up. Make yourself about 20 cents. Let's see, what do we have? We have SOAR. Is SOAR even running? SOAR's SOAR is below the daily VWAP, not touching that. KLTO just popped up. Was KLTO? KLTO. That's 26 million float. KLTO was a few days ago. KLTO was a few days ago. Yeah, so KLTO, boom. I probably just wouldn't touch it, just to be honest. It had its run. Move on. CVAC, nothing. AXTI. Yeah, that's only 22,000 volume. TIXT. That's nothing. I don't see anything. XTIA is good. XTIA is good. You had a couple trades on that. You had a run up, pull back, inside bar, break of the inside bar, get you a few cents. We had another pullback, inside bar. This run down on this 3-bar pullback, as you can see, the volume was drying up, which was good. We had an inside bar. It started going up. I had a break of that, and you were risking 20 cents, and you made a quarter. So 1-to-1. That's good. Take it all day. Let's see, AXTI. AXTI is really not doing anything. It's not 22,000 volume. Wouldn't even touch it. TIXT. Yeah, just wouldn't touch that either. XTIA. That's always looking good. AAOI. AAOI. The thing about AAOI was the spread on that. AAOI. AAOI is just, well, now it's got a 4-cent spread, but like right around in here, it was, I just didn't touch it. Could have gotten in on limit orders, though. I mean, get a 40 cent, get 80 cents on that. That would have been good on AAOI. If you could get yourself filled on that, that was good. At the time, it was like a 10-cent spread. We ran up, we pulled back. Then we ran up, we pulled back again. Then we got RCAT. And RCAT, we had a run up, had a pullback. 918. You probably got yourself 10 cents on that. Not enough volume though, to be honest. 61,000. XTAI, that has some pretty decent volume, somewhat, not really. 86,000 on that. So it's looks like it's going to go below the VWAP on the daily. If we look at where's 930 right there. So yeah, it's starting to come down. Yeah, there's some heavy volume coming in there now. This is why you take your profits while you got them and sell half and move to break even. Because you have stuff like this right here. As you can see here, what it does is that it'll pop, give it all back. See, pop, give it back. Pop, give it back. Look at that. Pop, give it back. Pop, give it back. Pop, give it back. I mean, that's what you're working with. These are not investments. These are pump and dumps. Get in, make your money, get out, move on. We don't care about the fundamentals of the company. We just care about the price action and the volume. I mean, if you look at RSLS, yeah. Do an anchor VWAP on the open. I mean, it ran up, it pulled back to that VWAP. Got yourself some money, pull back to the VWAP again. Both of them, the overnight session and then the New York session, and then it popped. And that was a 20-cent move. I only got about 10 cents on that. Got XTIA. Yeah, that's trading below the VWAP. Overnight session and New York session trading, it broke it, and then it's just going down. So yeah, as you can see here, pop down, pop down. You know, some of these that you can actually look at the biggest gainers here and look at these low floats. Like let's bring up the low floats and see what we got here. If we bring up the low float gainers, I'll drag it over from the other window. I got to write the code to get that to be multi-threaded to break it up. So we've got RSLS and SOAR. Those are the low floats. RSLS and SOAR. XTIA. We got RSLS. Got a nice pop on that. The thing about these, like RSLS, You have nice pops, and then what you could do is actually short it. Once it comes in, and then we got like soar. That's right below the VWAP, but right here, kind of ran up to the VWAP. You could have inside bar. You have a break of that and get yourself some money. But you got RSLS. The thing about these is, like right here, we're filling that gap. And if you were with me in the morning, pre-market, we looked at that. Is it going to fill that gap? Yeah. Let's take a look at that volume. It's heavily extended from the overnight in New York VWAP. But that don't mean anything. It could run all the way up to $8. If you look at AAOI, that was in the biggest gainer. And now look at it. We got a pop. We had resistance up there, and it sold off. See, a lot of these you can make money on the ups and downs. Make money right here, a little bit of money right there. Make a little bit of money right there. Cut and break below the VWAP. Close below the VWAP, and we're selling off. So yeah, that's just the way it is. RSLS is up 62%. SOAR is up. What is old SOAR doing? SOAR has recaptured the VWAP. Look at that. Look what it does. Pop. Run. Pop back. Pop back. 10,000 seller at 380 on RSLS. 380. Take a look at RSLS daily. We got a pop, soar, KLTO, got CVAC. Yeah, CVAC had gap up, AXTI. Yeah, I mean, RSLS seems like a good one to short if you're okay with that. I mean, we could pop up here and try to get a short in. There was a statistic that I looked at, and I think it said something like 80% of low floats give back their gains within a day or two. It was something like that. Mag-L showed up. It's 1 million float. Yeah. SGMT. It's 23 million float, but yeah. UMAC. That was the other day. Yeah. So we got SOAR. Looks like it's putting in a daily doji. Uh, was HIPO. Yeah, there's nothing there. We got SOAR that's just trying to work its way back up. And what was the news on SOAR? Agreed to merger forming dual flat. Yeah. And RSLS, Reshape, Life Science. Signs distribution agreement, recon supply access to VA and DoD markets. Okay. RSLS is like consolidating. RSLS is just consolidating. Could be a bull flag setting up and for a pop higher. We could break down back down to the VWAP here. Because it got pretty extended. The volume's drying up. Maybe the shorts will try to push it down. PL gave all its gains back. That showed up earlier. As you can see here, that popped up and gave its gains back. Popped up in pre-market, sold off. MAGL is not doing anything. SGMT is like 50 some million float. That's really nothing. Oracle is 12%. That's pretty high for a large cap stock. 12%. That's pretty high. Oracle stock surged on upbeat quarterly results. Yeah. KLTO. KLTO that ran a couple days ago. RSLS was the best trade so far for me. I mean, it was there. That was the best trade so far. RSLS is just slowly grinding down. So I'm getting ready to close out that short on RSLS. There we go. I shorted it from, we had that doji in there, shorted it from here, just closed it out for like 20 cents. The reason I did that is because we had a run up, a major extension from the New York VWAP. Overnight session VWAP is down here. New York VWAP. I just put an anchored VWAP at 9:30 for the anchored VWAP. And normally when it runs up here, it's like a, I don't know, it could be like a 2 standard deviation. They normally come back down to the VWAP. Stocks like to trade around their VWAP. And you could have played that bounce off the VWAP if you wanted. I just didn't. Just not much going on. I mean, we got Source still is the leader. And that was a major gap up. We got CVAC, 35%. Not much there. SGMTs, 17% change. I mean, the market's really slow. It really is. Yeah, SGMT has a nice run up past few days. Oracle earnings. UMAC had a run past few days. Wouldn't change. Wouldn't do AAOI. I mean, I kind of missed that in the mornings just because I just didn't like the spread. I mean, that was a nice trade. I could have gotten in on a limit order. I mean, we ran up. We had a pullback. This held really nice. Let's look at the 30-second. I mean, 30-second, that was a nice one. Could have gotten in on that and then ran it up. Yeah, that was nice. We had a hammer, touch of the VWAP. We had a hammer, a break of that, risk 40. Just start trading up and probably made yourself 50 cents. Definitely worth it. I just didn't do it. I was too busy with RSLS. I mean, I'm green for the day. Not a whole lot. I won some and I lost some. Not a whole lot. Let's see. I mean, RSLS was a good one. XTIA. Lost very little on XTIA. That was just basically a break even. Made most of my money on RSLS. XTIA I tried. XTIA. Yeah, XTIA. I don't know why XTIA. I don't know why. Wait a minute. Yeah, XTIA was just a break even for me just because I think it ran up and then it started coming back down and I just didn't go for it. RSLS was the biggest winner for me. RSLS, I made money buying it and then I made money shorting it. RSLS. Yeah, RSLS. Yeah, RSLS, I made money on it right up in here. Right up in here, I made money. And then we had a pullback. And then so I made money here, but I tried to get in here on the break of the high there, then it pulled back, and then I just took a break even on it. And then I just sat on my hands. I did not trade this, the break of this. That would have been a good trade if you did. Really good trade. If you look at the 30-second, That was really good. You could have, it was consolidating. The volume started coming in right here. You could have gotten in on that, gone for the break of the high, then all the way up. That would have been a good trade for you. But then right here, I shorted it here and then covered it down in here when it got to right here. Covered it right here when it got to the close to the VWAP, and I just got out. So RSLS has been the best trade for me. I am green for the day. Other than that, it's been pretty darn slow. It really has. I hope next week is a lot better. I'm going to be streaming for probably another 30 minutes, but I'm done for today. I'm green for today. I'm walking away. There's no reason for me to try to make another trade and then end up red for the day. There's no reason for that. So just walk away. You got to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you're not going to make it. You got to be disciplined. If you're not going to make it. I mean, we got volume coming in here on RSLS on the 32nd. See that volume? Now we're starting to give it back. Yeah. So the shorts are pushing it down. They trying, ain't they? But in the early morning, if you were with me, I mean, we definitely filled that gap there. I kind of knew you just scalp it on the way up. I mean, that right there filled it. That right there really definitely helped halfway. And then that pop right there filled it. That right there. So that was pretty good. So what was the 5-minute daily like? Yeah, so down here on the trade alerts, what I need to do is I need to put in there like the symbol, maybe the symbol for the columns. For the columns, I need to put the symbol in. I need to put the price in. Maybe we can go for the spread, but I mean, you can look on your platform and see the spread. I don't know if I really need to put it into a column. And for the trade alert, I really don't need the change. I really don't need the float or the volume or the news. But what I could do is put the type of trade. Is it a 3-bar run up, 2-bar pullback? Is it the opening range? And what I'm talking about with the opening range, I'm looking at it on a 5-minute. I wrote the code to look at it on a 5-minute. So if we look at this real quick, so this right here starts at the New York session. Let me get rid of that. Is the first 5 minutes needs to close above the VWAP here, and then it needs to close above there. So that closed above the VWAP. This was pretty close. Let me show you. I don't think SOAR did it. SOAR didn't do it. AXTI, did that do it? Yes. So AXTI this is a really good example of, I'll have to look back at the video if AXTI showed up on the trade alerts here at 940. So at 940, which is right here, is at 940. So we got 930 at 940. Are the past two bars, these right here, 930 close is above the session VWAP, 9 and then 935 above the session VWAP, and when we open up at 940, it's above. So these are above the session VWAP, and there's volume coming in. So an opening range that I'm testing is right here. You get in here and you put your stop right down here. So that's an 18-cent stop. Now it ran up and then it got the low here, so you probably got 14 cents out of that. Maybe sell half, move to break even, and see what the rest of the day can net you. That's what I'm talking about with the opening range. And that's the type of trade that I take sometimes. And then I wrote the code last night to alert me for that. And I'm going to have to look back on the video here to see about that. And I can't remember which other ones. RS, LS showed up. And I did take it a little bit. That's why this really didn't close above the VWAP, but it was really close. I mean, you could have gotten in right here. That's at 940. You could have gotten in here. You put your stop down here. That's like a 35 cent stop. And then you come up here to the highs. I mean, that's a 1-to-1. We broke the highs. We came up, closed up here. So that's like a 2-to-1. So that's what I'm looking for with the opening range. So I'm going to put the trade alerts here. I'm going to put symbol, and then I'm going to put price, and I'm going to put type. And I can put, you'll have to look on your own platform for the stop. The stop, I just do the low of the beginning bar or the second bar if it traded down and then it closed up. I just put the stop there. And if you want to risk, let's say you want to risk $100. Well, you're going to have to understand how many shares you want to use for that. And let me show you on RSLS. I have written position size and TL. Like right now, if we look at this, like right now, if you wanted to buy this right now, thinking that it's going to go up, but you only want to risk $100, I think I have it set to $100. You'd put your stop down here, and then, yeah. So you do like 119 shares. I mean, that's like 85 cents. So yeah, so that would risk 100. Now, let's say you want to risk 500, then you just do 500, 600 shares. So if you want to do 1,000, then you got 119 shares. You can just roughly round it out. Instead of 100 shares, you just do 1,000 shares if you want to risk that much. So with the opening range, what it's going to do is first 5 minutes, let's look at this, the first 5 minutes, boom, then I look at 940, it should show up on the trade alert, and it's going to be like OR, opening range for the type, and then you just put your stop down here. This is a TradingView indicator that I wrote that just tells me, I basically know where the stop is. I can look and see. But right there, that 135 just tells me how many shares I should get into for every $100 I want to risk. So if I want to risk $100, I can get in 150 shares. If I want to risk $200, I can get in like 300 shares right now. So that's what it does. I can give you the code for the TradingView for that if you're actually using TradingView. But what I want to do is kind of build it out. I don't know if I wanted to do another window for opening range. So for the Ticker Zcan, we have trade alerts. Mainly, there's only three actually two that's showing up. Opening range and 2-bar pullback. So when it runs up 3 consecutive candles, and then it has a pullback of 2 bars, it's going to show up here. Now, it's just a trade alert. Doesn't mean to tell you to get in. That opening range is a pretty good indicator for you to get in, because it's only going to show when it closes above the VWAP. But that's what I have. I'm just writing the trade alerts for that just so I don't miss trades. That's all. Now, if we look at the RSLS on a 1 minute, we had a run up here, but we had a pullback. So, but the thing is, if you look at, let's look at an anchored VWAP, and it's going back 20 periods. So, anchored VWAP, we had a run up, we had a pullback, but it didn't show up on trade alerts, because if we go back 20 period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right here. We had a run up, we had a pullback, but the second bar pullback is below this VWAP. That's why it didn't show up on the trade alerts. Actually, nothing's been showing up, so I'm going to have to keep testing it for a couple of days to see, hey, is this actually working? And I can review the code later this afternoon after I do this news. I want to just only show news for the current day. But it didn't show up because the second bar closed below the VWAP. That's the volume-weighted average price. Now, if we had to run up even more up here in the 2 bar and the 2 red bars, micro pullback here, and the close of it held the VWAP right here, then it would show up on the trade alert, and then you would get on, once it broke the high of that 2 bar pullback, then you would get in. But it didn't show up because the momentum for the volume weighted average price, it closed below it, so it's not going to show up. But that's just something I'm testing. I might want to just go to the New York session. So if we go to the New York session, right here is 9:30. I wonder if it's going to show up. Yeah. So we had a run up, we had a pullback. Yeah, it would have shown up, but you wouldn't get in because it didn't break the high right there. So I'm playing around with the periods. Right now I have it for 20. I mean, it could be 30 period. So if you did anchor VWAP, right here is the pullback of the low right here. So you could have done anchored VWAP. Yeah, that still wouldn't have shown up. But you could have done another anchored VWAP on the pullback here. But that still didn't. So it's just not good. Anchored VWAP is really good. Let me get this book. You can get a book called Anchored VWAP, Brian Shannon. Brian Shannon, Anchored VWAP. They don't have the Kindle version. I had to get the hardback. But that's the best book to read on VWAP. I'm going to be teaching a lot about VWAP and everything. I just want to get this scanner working good. Once the scanner is working good, then everything will be decent. I mean, we had a pullback here. Like right here. Let's look at, because we had a pullback here. Let's look at the anchored VWAP. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it was like right around in here. So we had a run up, 3 bar run up, and then we had a pullback. Now it should have shown up. Well, no, it shouldn't have shown up. And the reason for that is because, yes, we had a 3 bar pullback, and we had a 2-bar pullback, but the reason it didn't show up on the trade alert window is because that high broke the high of this red bar. And what I'm looking for is lower highs. So that high needed to be lower than this one down in here, and then it would have shown up on the trade alerts, and then you could have gotten in. Let's say it was down in here, you could have gotten in the break on that, probably got yourself 5-10 cents. But it's a work in progress for the trade alerts to read the price action. And mainly what I'm going to be doing trade alerts on is, well, the opening range, that's one. But I'm going to be doing it for price action and then using the VWAP. So I don't have to actually see it on the chart or do it myself. It'll just show up on trade alerts, and I know that if the type is OR for opening range at 940, then yeah, it's going to be an opening range, so I can do that. Just go into the trade at 940, put the stop at the low of the past 10 minutes, just put the low, stop at the low there, and see what we can get. USAR, DFDV, that's been showing up. USAR, that's 49, 50 million float. DFDV, it's only a 12%, 11.5% gain. KLTO, it's getting to be around 11 o'clock. I normally just don't trade. I like to trade between 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Okay, so we have a CVAC. Okay, so CVAC showed up, but then again, let's take a look at it. Could that be the 3-bar pullback? Let's look at the anchored VWAP. So CVAC showed up, so that might be a trade. CVAC, and also the trade alert for the SGMT showed up as well. So ORCL showed up. Here, let me write this down. SGMT ORCL showed up at 1043. I just want to write this down so I can debug and test, because it goes away. And the reason it goes away is because the trade is not valid. It only alerts you like, hey, we had a run up, we had a pullback. It will alert you. Then after about another minute or 30 seconds, I think another minute, it will go away. Now later on, I might leave it in there for like 5 minutes or so. But let's look at SGMT. So we had a pullback here. You wouldn't have gotten in because it did not break. But let's look if the code I wrote actually worked, if the Rust code worked. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going back 20 period. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So right here is what is the 20 period. I might go back 30 period or 15 every 15 minutes. I'm not sure. I need to test that. I don't think I want to go past a 30-minute period. But as you can see here, it ran up and it came back to the VWAP for a 20 period right here, starting at blah, 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 starting at this bar right here. Oh, that's not good. Boom. Starting at this bar right here. So if it would have broke the high of this bar right here, you could have gotten in. But if you look at the volume's coming up. These two bars, that bar right there, the volume is kind of increasing a little bit, a little leery. But that trade was no good. Now let's go look at Oracle. But the trade alert worked. It's just that the trade didn't work because it didn't do what it's supposed to. Now, this is not an alert system for you to be like, oh, it shows up, buy. No, it just tells you, hey, there's a trade setting up. Because by the time the alert, you see this in the alert window, like, hey, buy, the thing could be already be moving 20, 30, 50 cents. Who knows? That's why it will alert you ahead of time, and it's your responsibility to execute the trading plan. It's not buy and sell, and I never will do buy and sell signals because, to be honest, half these not half, just about all these gurus that sell these, oh, buy my trading course, buy my signal course. You'll make all kinds of money. Here's a Lamborghini that I own that they probably just rented for a few $100s for the day. Who knows? I don't care. Half of them are BS to begin with. Yeah, and I'm not showing you my trades for the day or anything like that because I just don't care. And you shouldn't care about my trades, to be quite honest, because why would you care about how much money I make? You should only care about how much money you make, not me. You should not care about what I do. Now, I will teach you and give you the knowledge. You can go from there, but you should not give a flying crap about how much money I make. So let's look at Oracle. So at SGMT, the trade kind of worked out. Yeah, so it ran up. We had 242. It showed up. Okay, I wrote 1043. So it was 1042 that showed up. So it seems like the system is working. Because right there, the second bar right there, it alerted us right there. Let's do the anchored VWAP, go back 20 period, alert right there at 1042. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it would have been right here. And yes, that was good because we had a run up, have a 3-bar run up, and the 3-bar that I'm looking for is this right here. So the volume is increasing. And we had a higher high, and that's the code that I wrote. We have a higher high. Then it looks for 2-bar pullback, making lower lows. And as you can see here, we made higher highs, and we're making lower lows. Because right here, a low, and right here, whoops, and right here, a low. So you would get in on the break of this bar right here. So you would get in on the break of that bar right there. So you would get in the break of that bar right there, which the high was at 201.71, so you would get in there. But it didn't happen. You get in the break of this one, and you go to the low. So we have AXTI at 1040, AXTI at 1049. So let me go ahead and test that one to see if that one is true. AXTI. So we had a run up, we had a pullback, did not work. Again, these are not working because the market's weak. The market's weak. I stand corrected. The SPY's is pretty strong. It's just the stocks we trying to get in a week. Ain't that a bummer? Oh well, move on. So the SPY's looking pretty good. Yeah, look at that grind up. I made some really good money in my IRA account. This right here, this pullback, oh man, I was all up in that. and then it came up, sold a lot, then pulled back, got in more, came up, sold a lot. I mean, I'm all out now, but I could have made a lot more in my IRA account. But it is what it is. But man, I was all over that when the market was dumping. We're gonna have a tariff war, the world is gonna end. Blah blah blah. Run for your lives. No, you better run for your trading platform and start buying is what you better run to. Um, okay, so let's look at AXTI. AXTI, it's like 10:50. I'm going to be done here pretty soon, and then I am going to go eat lunch. Then after lunch, I am going to come back. After lunch, I'm going to come back and write some more code and get this done. AXTI. So we looked at SGMT that popped up on the trade alerts. We looked at Oracle, ORCL. Oracle is a little too much. I mean, that's a $200 stock. I mean, I'm trading. I mean, there's no way I could buy 1,000 shares of that. Maybe a couple hundred. But AXTI. Okay, so we had a run up. And the code that I wrote has a 3-bar, and then we had a higher high, higher low. So right here we had a run up and we had a pull back. So that right here is where the alert came in at 10:48. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Somewhere around in here is the VWAP. So a 20-period VWAP that I wrote in the code to get the volume weighted average price when we have a run up and we have a pullback. And as long as these 2 bars right here are closing above this 20-period anchored VWAP, we should get in. Now, of course, this is kind of late in the day. You got to be honest, this should only be done in the early morning. I stopped trading at 11. That's my stopping point. I'm green for the day. So I'm done. I was done a while ago. But if this right here, we had a run up, we had a pullback. Now, if it would have broke the high of this right here, you could get in and try to go up. But for some reason, it didn't. It's coming back. So what you could do, I mean, this trade alert system goes off the biggest gainers. I'm going to add the other ones for this pullback. Pre-market gainers, I don't know if I'm going to have it there for that, but just because for the pre-market gainers, when I start streaming at 8 o'clock, I just kind of look at it. I could have it added to that, but the top traded gainers, I'm going to add the trade alert system for the micro pullback to that. The biggest gainers is already there. That's what's showing up. The low float gainers are not showing up, but if you look at this, the biggest gainers, there are some low floats in here, LIMN. I mean, those are in there. That's a low float. RSLS, the one that I made most of my money on, low float. SOAR, low float. So the low floats are showing up. And also the blue chips are showing up. I mean, look at Oracle, $200 stock. Yeah, it's the biggest gainer just because it beat on earnings, I think. But what you can do is come back here and look at the history and look for 3-bar run up, 2-bar pullback, or 3-bar pullback. It's just going to, trade alert's going to pop up when it's a minimum of a 2-bar pullback. It's still going to, you can still look in. If you get 3-bar pullback, that's fine. And as long as it closes above that VWAP that is anchored, that's fine. You can manually do this. You can manually go in and anchor the VWAP if you want to. Let's try to find one. ARAI. Yeah, see, this is not making higher highs because that right there, That made the higher high, but I'm looking for a run up like this and a pull. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. This is what the code does. It runs for a higher high here. Let me get the anchored VWAP and then a pullback. That's what the code does, but AR AI didn't show up. Let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right here. So we have a 20 period anchored VWAP from this part here. We had a run up and we had a pullback. And what you want to do, because the momentum is there, this yellow line is the session VWAP. This right here would be the 20 period from this bar right here. From this one right here, you would get in on the break of that. Now that was a pretty tight stop, so you get a break in on that. I would not put it, because that's a doji. I would have put it down right here, maybe at 12 cents, or you can even put it down to here for a 20-cent stop. And where did it go? Well, you made yourself 20 cents on this bar right here. It spiked up, but it kept running. Or you can let it run, and then once it breaks the low of this bar, that's 10 cents. Or if you got yourself 20 cents, then you could just go ahead and sell half and move to a break even. AR, AI. I don't know if that popped up or not. I'm not sure. But AR, AI might not have even popped up on the 10% yet, because the biggest gainers, only 10% is it going to show up, and AR, AI is not there. Also, another thing, I'll tell you the filters I wrote for this for the biggest gainers, but right here, yeah, we had 13%, so it ran up about 10% here, so it would have shown up on the trade alerts. However, it didn't show up, and the reason for that is because the biggest gainers here. What I'm looking for in the biggest gainers is I have the code set for the filter that I wrote. The code set to only show 10% or higher. See, it updated. The client here on the desktop updated to the server, and some of them went down because some of them are below 10%. But also right in here, they have to be, I think it's 10,000 volume or more. Well, I'm sorry, right here. Right here in the volume, 5-minute chart. I updated it last night. It was last night that I updated it, and it has to be 20,000 volume within the past 5 minutes to even show up. So the past 5 minutes, as you can see here, this one right here, it didn't show up because that was like 7,000 volume. It was 56,000 volume. But the past 5 minutes on this right here didn't show up because it was only 7,000 volume. So it really didn't show up because it didn't hit the 20,000 volume mark. I just don't want stocks to show up if there's no volume. I mean, if the stock here has a nice gain of 15%, but it's only trading like 5,000 volume in 5 minutes, I mean, heck, that's going to be hard to get in and out of. And if you're trading with 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 shares, I mean, how the heck are you going to get in and out? You're going to get half fills and things like that. That's why I have a filter for this right here, biggest gainers, to only show 20,000 minimum volume for the past 5 minutes. Are you going to miss some trades? Yes, you will. But who cares? Because there's more to be traded, more to be had. You're not going to get them all. You only need one good trade a day. One good trade a day to make it good. If you take 2 trades, let's say you take a trade and you lose 10 cents. Let's say you take another trade, and let's say you make 20 cents. Okay, so you made 10 cents for the day, walk away. You had one good trade. I mean, you could take a third trade and get back another 10 cents and be break even, just keep going until you're red for the day. But my philosophy is one good trade a day. Like that guy at SMB Capital that wrote the book, One Good Trade a Day. That's a proprietary firm that he runs, and he says one good trade a day. So if you make a trade and you lose 10 cents, and then you make a trade and you make 20 cents, where you're up 10 cents for the day. 10 cents doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you're trading 1,000 shares, that's $100. If you're trading 5,000 shares, that's $500. That is scalping. And that's all I do here. So that's why ARAI didn't show up, because the volume wasn't there. But right here, ARAI, as you can see right here, it showed up. It's up 25%, and we got 52,000 volume in the past 5 minutes. 27,000 volume. TradingView, this TradingView, I don't have it set up to my broker, but with the server that I'm getting the data from, I'm using SIP data. So that's getting data from all the exchanges. So the volume is going to be different from TradingView. I don't know where they're getting their information from, but I'm getting live data from SIP that gets it directly from the exchanges. So 11 o'clock, that's all I have. I'll be back at it at 8 o'clock in the morning. See what we have for pre-market. This week has been kind of slow for pre-market for me, at least. Maybe other people are having good luck. But I'm going to eat lunch, work on the scanner, and it will be released to the public. It will definitely be released to the public. So that's all I have. Talk to you later.